A slightly offbeat way to track the big stories and cultural trends of 2004 is to thumb through the pages of the New Yorker magazine. There, the black and white cartoons are a mirror of our times. This year, the drawings and captions ran the gamut from terrorism to corporate greed to same-sex marriage. Earlier this week, ABC's Terry Moran spoke with Bob Mankoff, cartoon editor of The New Yorker and a cartoonist in his own right, who still enjoys humbling the powerful with his pen.
How funny a year was 2004?
I think 2004, I've looked at the latest stats. It looks like it was 92% funnier than 2003, although the final, government statistics aren't in on it.
It was a year of war, though, and with the subject as grim as war. What do you do in a cartoon? What do you look for in a cartoon?
Well, grim is the reason for grim. There is, war, and there's, security problems and everything, but, I'm thinking, let's say, I've just done coming here on the airport and, all the long security lines, and I'm thinking of a cartoon done not too long after 2001 by, September 11th by Leo Cullum, where a woman's coming on a plane, she's got a cat, and the security guy is saying, sorry, ma'am, I'm going to have to declaw the cat. These are, of course, we're worried. The plane could crash, could be blown up, but, this is our way of dealing with, our mortality and vulnerability.
Well, what about one of the deepest tragedies and disgraces of the year, the Abu Ghraib prison scandal?
Yeah.
A tragedy, obviously, for the people involved.
Right.
For the country as well. You found something funny in it.
Well, we've got the Abu Ghraib No Hard Feelings pizza party. Everything, now, you say, well, when does humor go too far? Well, it obviously goes too far when it's not funny, but I have never said that line to someone that didn't laugh. The cartoon makes fun of us, because it puts everything in we see everything through the prism of our life. Like, what would we have? When people say, well, when does humor go too far? There's a First Amendment. What's the worst thing that happens when humor goes too far? Someone says, now that's in bad taste. That's a risk we got to run.
Bob Mankoff. He's edited the complete cartoons of The New Yorker, and we mean complete, all 68,647 cartoons ever published in the magazine. The coffee table book tips the scales at just over 9 pounds. I'll be back with In Memoriam.
Bob Mankoff, a staff cartoonist for 20 years, as the new cartoon editor.
So the New Yorker's cartoon editor, Bob Mankoff, draws on the talents of a whole pool of artists each week.
Cartoonist and cartoon editor, Robert Mankoff.
Joining us in studio, Bob Mankoff, the cartoon editor of the New Yorker magazine.
Bob Mankoff, the cartoon editor of The New Yorker, who describes himself as a licensed humorist.
What is it that you're looking for? What is it that makes you say, this would be a good cartoon for The New Yorker?
Bob Mankoff has been cartooning for The New Yorker since 1977 and cartoon editor for the past 6 years.
Basically, our humor in The New Yorker is about ourselves. It's not, for the most part, the humor that ridicules the other, and that can be fine. The New Yorker cartoon occurs in the New Yorker magazine. It's part and parcel of the whole ethos of what the magazine is. It's a wonderful and fantastic occupation, but it is not easy. Unfortunately, when you go to work, you don't have anything to do. In other words, there's not a big pile of papers to say, oh yeah, add up these numbers, or let's get out these memos. These are reports, get this to Mr. Davis, post haste. No, you got a blank piece of paper. You have to start. Well, as cartoon editor, I see in person the cartoonists in the New Yorker magazine, which are about 30 or 40 people who actually contribute the cartoons to the magazine.
Get out and take your drawings with you.
We had a fight, it happens. Probably the cartoon I'm best known for. If there's a guy on the phone and he's looking at his Rolodex and he's saying,
no, Thursday's out. How about never? Is never good for you?
Everyone relates to that because people like to be nasty. It's a way of dealing with the complexities of the world by reducing them to a comic situation.
They can't see you right now. Would you like a bottle while you're waiting?
They're delicious. We can't pass them up. We gotta eat this little bonbon. And then, what the hell, we'll finish the rest of the pot. After 9/11, we have these guys at a bar, and the one guy is saying, I feel if I don't have that third martini, the terrorists win. But to me, it's not just funny.
It was like you were sick and had some disease and you couldn't eat sweets. You couldn't do it. We felt like that part of our brain, which sort of keeps us alive, like a lobotomy had been performed. Nothing was funny about that, of course, and not even in a sick way.
Afghanistan and Iraq, it's how are we reacting? You know, it'd be easy to make fun of the Taliban, okay? That's like shooting fish in a barrel. I'm looking for the communication of an idea through the medium of humor.
This year's presidential campaign provides plenty of fodder for political humor, making the funny business big business right now.
I think comedy is actually part of the democratic dialogue.
Humor is a little bit like the songs that you made out to and stuff, in terms of your affection for things, whether it's the Marx Brothers or anything else.
Irony is always used, and satire is used as a corrective to our own behavior. One of its purposes is to sort of humble the mighty so that we can think about the things they're doing.
As a matter of fact, you did catch us at a bad time.
If humor lasts 10 years or so, it's done a remarkable job.
That has to be nurtured and kept alive, and I have every confidence it will. It would actually be, you know, a tragedy for comedy if this didn't happen. It's genius. This is great.